there, Whimsy fans! We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout-out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy, or follow the link on our YouTube channel, @ChasingTheWhimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Whimsy with the Z. I'm your host, Ben. If you're listening to, so it's the second week of the month. You just heard Dean. So after Dean, Danielle, how you doing?
Good.
No Pinky for you today, and I'm sorry. She's sorry. She was all excited to come over, and I think she got tied up with work. This month is an easy month. I'm just checking in, a couple of questions, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for November and December. How are you feeling? I think last month you just got out of a hospital and were a little down. How are you feeling a month later?
I'm perfectly fine now.
Yay! Well, good for you. We're glad. We've been doing this now. This is your fourth month. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to keep these all in order. It's October. It's Halloween month. Do you like Halloween?
I really do. I like Halloween, not only because I have a sweet tooth and you get all the candies, but also because I don't know why. I just like to dress up, be someone who I'm not.
Who are you dressing up as this year?
An anime character.
And which anime character?
Nezuko from Demon Slayer.
Okay, very cool. Do you go out with friends?
No, I only go out with my family.
So you and your family, you're going to just anime, trick or treat, have a good time.
Yeah.
How come you don't go out with your friends?
Probably all of my friends have wanted to do that with me, but me and them are really bad at setting up times and dates for it. And they also have to ask their parents, but they never do, and then they never get in contact with my parents. So it's we want to, but we never do. Last year, one of my close friends, a girl group, we wanted to go trick-or-treating together in one of their neighborhoods, but that never happened.
You think it will next year after? Do you think you'll still want to trick or treat? So 14 and 15. Do you think you'll still trick or treat at 14 and 15?
Yes, I will.
Do you think you'll drop the parents and find a friend group somewhere in the next 2 years?
I have a friend group, but the thing is, they don't live here.
Okay. Okay. When do you think you'll stop trick-or-treating?
17 or 18.
So your senior year, you're I'm not going to trick-or-treat.
Yeah, but like probably because like college and like really like that big high school part. I like love trick or treating though because like again I have a really big sweet tooth. I'm like all about the sweets. I cannot stop eating sweets. I will eat like anything at any time.
It's
I'm
all
one of
free.
I'm one of those kids that's gonna eat like ice cream for breakfast. So
That's awesome. And it's free, man. They're just literally giving it away.
I know, right? Like
It seems irresponsible not to go and get free candy from strangers.
there used to be a house in my neighborhood that would give like full size candy bars.
We used to, okay, so that's a thing, right? Because we used to do the same thing where it's like we have to start over there because that's where all the good candy bars are and the sodas. So you guys still kind of map out your day knowing that where all the good houses are?
No.
Or you just know eventually you'll get there?
Yeah. I mean, my parents and my brother, since he's older than me, he never really wants to dress up anymore. I don't get it. My parents are adults, so they don't want to dress up either. So I'm like the only one there. It's lonely.
Would you like your parents to dress up?
Yes, they used to dress up like when I was like 6, 7, and 8, but they don't anymore. It's really boring. Halloween, they like since like I'm the only one going trick or treating like with like one parent, so I'm like there for a short time and I don't get enough candy. I'm like, how dare they? I want my candy. I want full 2 baskets of candy.
Right. Oh, that's so funny. Are you still doing online school?
Yeah.
Does your school have a homecoming?
I have no idea. I don't look at the what's it called, the announcements. They usually don't do that for like middle school. Maybe they will, but if they do, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna go because it's online school. We don't interact with the people there. I'm gonna go being like I literally only have one or two friends there, and I don't know the kids there. They're never on camera. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't look at that announcement. Probably not, though.
So would you want to go to a high school dance if you knew more people physically? Like if all your regular friends, if they were able to go to your school dance, would you go to a school dance? Have you ever been to a school dance? Like, have you had those yet?
Yeah. In elementary school, yes.
Did you go to them?
Yeah, I went to both of them. One of them, I was alone, which was very, very, very depressing for me. I'm awkward when it comes to like really big like areas of people. Mm-hmm. But like if they're a small group, I'll talk to them. But I don't like talking to like a big amount of people. And then I can't find my way. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get lost or like I'm gonna get pushed. I got pushed a couple of times. There's like a dance floor there. I remember it. It was one of the people who were doing the worm, and I was like right behind them, and they accidentally backed me up against the wall. That traumatized me for the rest of my life because I was just there. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then like I'm short too, so I was like, someone help me.
Do you think when you get into high school, you would want to go to a school dance? Like,
yeah, as long as I have like a couple of like people, like girls that I really know and are close to, like behind my back, that will know, like, because I don't want beef with a girl or like a boy in the future. So I want someone to be there for me because I'm not doing it. I mean, I get aggressive easily. Like with my brother, like we fight a lot. We throw hands sometimes. But like also if like one of my friends is like in trouble, like one of my best friends, like I'll get so feisty. Like I literally said to one of my best friends all the time. She's like, she came home. I mean, yeah, she like texted me. I don't know when she gets home, but she texted me and she was like, this girl said she's gonna beat me up, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll call a plane. I'll like go on a plane and I'll go to you, and then I'll bring like a chainsaw or something, and then
oh, you're so funny. So you're scared, so not scared. You're uncomfortable in large groups, but if you or if one of your friends is backed into a corner, you're like, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Do you get that from your mom or your dad? Like, is your mom or your dad a little bit more like, are they wildly passionate about like friends and family, and they're like, I will kill somebody for you?
That's hard.
You're like, it's both of
Probably
them.
my mom. Like I don't know if she would like kill for a friend, but I know
be
she
there.
can fight someone. She can fight someone.
Okay. Did she ever fight when she was in school?
I have no idea.
You never asked?
I know she never told me, but she tells me a lot of things. I probably have to ask her that.
Having done this podcast now for 3 months, this is your 4th month. How are you enjoying doing the podcast? Talking, hanging out, telling us about yourselves? What are you thinking?
I feel really happy and really confident now because, like, at the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna like be so awkward. I'm not gonna talk at all. But then, like, now, I feel like really confident to say like anything. So.
Does that confidence extend anywhere outside of the podcast? So, like, yes, you're confident talking with me or Pinky, but do you take that confidence anywhere outside of podcast into real life?
Yes. I like in school, I like to speak up, like when it's like educational, and like also with my best friends.
Are your grades going good?
Yeah, I have straight A's.
Like a confident straight A. You're like
Confident straight A.
You know, like, that's a dumb question, Ben. Don't even ask that.
I know. It's because like I'm confident, but then like I think I'm dumb because I can like I ask what so many times when someone's like asking me a question. I don't know. I just act dumb for no reason. But I know I'm smart because in a lot of my classes, there's like assignments, and I usually do those assignments like so well, like to the point I get like an extra grade. And one time in history class, I had to write like a couple of paragraphs, and my teacher liked it so much. The points were either a 10 out of 10, but I got a 14 out of 10.
You're like extra credit. You're like, put that one on the fridge, Mom.
Yeah.
Are the classes getting harder, or like, what do you think? Hold on. So you got straight A's. You're doing very well. Is it because it's too easy, or is it like you're just good at comprehending and absorbing all that info?
It's easy.
Do you wish you had harder classes?
This type of hard, I don't know, like 8th grade hard, no. I know this stuff because my best friend, she's a grade higher than me because she's like half a year older than me. So like when we go on call, she like randomly talks about school, so I really know all this stuff. But then also my last school, they like really, really wanted to get you prepared for like the next grade. Mm-hmm. So I knew like a lot of stuff in like 5th grade. I mean, I knew a lot of stuff in 6th grade that I learned in 5th grade. I don't know if that makes sense. I might have phrased that wrong.
So you have studied above your current grade. So you're always kind of like a year ahead of where most of the kids will be.
I think, yeah. Because last year, again, not to brag, I know I'm like really smart, but I had for the state testing, I was second, like higher than all of my classes. I mean, all of my the classmates. I was really high level or score to the point I was the second place, like right under it. But then for math, I got like a level so high. It was like 200 something. And like all the other kids were in the hundreds. I'm like, I'm just like that.
I like it. Well, good for you. And those testings were for just your school, or were they kind of like a state testing?
State testing.
So you're like the smartest person in the state right now, basically.
I guess.
I love it. What is your favorite moment so far of doing the podcast? I've never asked anybody this question yet, but what is your favorite moment so far with the podcast?
The podcast with Pinky. I enjoyed that. The film I had with Pinky.
You and Pinky, man, you guys nerd out over anime. Do you? That's dumb. I was going to ask a dumb question and say, is Pinky part of the reason why you're a little bit more confident with doing the podcast? Obviously, yes. What is it about Pinky that you like?
We relate to each other a lot, which I really like, because I'm like, again, I don't like big groups of people, so I have like a hard time talking to people because they're usually in a big group. Because I'm kind of like social anxious sometimes, but I'm not at the same time. So I have a hard time talking to people and like asking questions, but I can still talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's like people that like come out to me first, and then I'll get to know them, like my best friend. And like with Pinky, I just like answered a couple of questions and she became like a close friend immediately.
Anime cats done.
Yes.
Like, sorry, I don't know if you know this, Pinky, but we're best friends right now, and I'm the smartest person in the state. That's funny. Your guys' episodes are fantastic. I liked the idea of you guys talking to each other. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Would you want to talk to somebody else? Like, is there any of the other the other three that you would want to talk to?
That's right. Yeah, I would want to talk to all of them. I just really want to get to know them more. Okay. Like talking to each other instead of like listening to their
mm-hmm.
I don't know how to call it.
Now you have a very unique advantage over everybody else because you've already talked to somebody different. Next month for November, okay, there's two options that we're surveying. Would you want to talk to a different person next month, or would you want to do a month where you ask me questions?
Oh, that's hard.
The caveat is whatever one we don't pick, we'll do first of the year. So we'll do both of them. But next month, which one would you prefer to do? Talk to somebody else? Ask me questions.
Talk to someone else.
Okay. All right. We're going to try and I have to figure out the logistics of how to do that. But I think we're going to have everybody talk to somebody else next month. And it should be fine. Does it make you nervous at all, knowing that you're going to talk? You could possibly talk to Mark or Dean. You won't talk to Dean.
I don't think does everyone do the other kids on the podcast know that like Dean?
What's super funny is we've never said it, right?
Yeah.
Occasionally we hinted at it, and then you guys are on the same week. I tried to avoid that, but it didn't work out. But regardless, I think both Mark and Pinky brought it up, and they're like, "Are they?" And I'm like, "Technically, yes." And a couple of parents that listen to the podcast are like, and I'm like, "Yes, they are."
Yeah, I listened to Dean's podcast. And I'm like, do people know that? It's like I'm like just thinking, oh, that he's talking about me.
It is weird because I don't know why I chose not to disclose that, but it was definitely funny when
It was.
because like I think when that first episode, he's like, "Yeah, I like my sister. She's like my best friend," and you're like, "Oh, I'd fight him. He's annoying."
He is. Because okay, we talk to each other when we need to, like when we open up to each other like easily because we have that connection. But we like to annoy each other as well, to the point like we get so angry with each other that we're gonna fist fight. It's very complicated relationship.
Okay, so before you came on today, I missed this, and it's probably the coolest thing in the world. When he was done, he doesn't be like, "I'll be right back, I'll go get her." He just screams for you. Like, that's like my favorite thing in the world. Like, because like my mom would be like, "Go get your sisters," and I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "I could have done that." That's so funny. When you guys fight, do you go full force on him? Like, do you hold back at all? Like when you're angry and you guys are like fighting around a little bit, like, are you like literally trying to hit him as hard as you can?
Not as hard as I can. I'm just gonna hit him.
Okay. Do you think he holds back because he knows that he's older and bigger than you? No,
He doesn't.
he's doing all he can to fight you off.
But he doesn't. I'm so sorry, Dean, for throwing you under the bus, but he's busted my lip 3 times.
Oh, so he's just like, you want to play with a big brother? I'm going to treat you like I'm your big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. Yeah, because I have 2 younger sisters. You want to mess around, no hold back. Good for him.
One thing my mom taught me: fuck around and find out.
I'm trying to think. I don't think, because you're the only ones that have close siblings. Because everybody else has like older or way younger. All right, so next month you're going to talk to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen? Are you caught up with most of the episodes? So there's 17 of them out right now. Are you caught up on most of them?
Yeah.
What did you think of Pinky's Unplugged?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to use slang. She ate. Oh my goodness. I was like, my mind was like buzzing. I'm like, oh my goodness. She's like, she thinks like, oh, not like the same, but I think similar things, like what she said with cigarettes. I don't know how to say. It was just like so amazing because she just like said that like straight up, and it was like, oh my god.
Like they just taste disgusting. We don't like them.
Yeah.
What else did we like about her episode?
Trying to think back because I listened to it like 2 weeks ago. Well, no, a week ago. Not 2 weeks ago. Don't know.
Do you listen to any of the episodes with your parents? Or is it always just by yourself?
Not with my parents. I usually listen to it on their own time. But yeah, I listen to it to myself.
Let's see. Pinky. We talked about her mom. A little bit about work. And some different topics that we could possibly tackle in the future. Were there any topics that you were like you're interested in hearing about and that we eventually get into? Let me see about my notes. Basically, it's like, let me see. I don't have my notes. Where did my notes go? Yeah, so the heavier topics. Is there a particular heavier topic that you're interested in?
Drugs.
Okay, so you're still doing school online. You're the youngest. Has anybody asked you to try a drug or a cigarette? Like, have you experienced that yet?
Mm-mm.
Do any of your friends smoke?
No, but I'm pretty sure one of them vaped.
Okay.
One time, it's like not necessarily drugs. I just find it really funny. One time I walked in, like when I was still in physical school, one time I walked into like the 7th grade girls, because there's 2 buildings where my old school is, like where it's like separated like 5th and 7th in one building and then 6th and 8th in the other one. There was one, the girl group in there, they like crushed up, I forgot, I don't know if it was, I think it was Smarties. It's some type of candy. They crushed up Smarties and snorted it.
Who knows? Because I think I mentioned my friends were smoking at 13, 14. So you're like right at that spot where you're not going to do it, but you're going to start seeing your peers doing those things. Your best friend, you guys are hanging out, and all of a sudden she's like, boom, cigarette, vape. Do you say something? Or are you just kind of like, you do you?
I mean, smoking's their own thing. I mean, I don't agree with it necessarily, but again, it's like their choice to destroy their lungs. So I'm just joking.
So you're not going to be judgy, but you're going to kind of just like whatever they want to do?
Yeah. But I don't know why you use my best friend as an example. I don't want to think about that.
Because, I don't know, because you never know. Because like if it was some random friend, you don't care, but your best friend you care about. So if they're like they do something a little bit, you're like, all right, I get it. You're my best friend. I forgive everything. But yeah, nobody, Johnny off to the side. You're like, I don't care what he does.
Yeah.
Would you be interested doing a Danielle Unplugged?
Yes. Yes.
Very quick, yes.
I know. I'm like the youngest in the podcast, but like I can get really talkative when it comes to like more teenish things.
Okay.
Like I talk about like drugs and like alcohol and like somewhat about sex with like my parents and my brother.
Okay.
They're very open to me about that, which I really like because now I know at a young age and I'm aware now. So
very cool. Don't tell me, but is there any topic or area that you'd be nervous if I brought up? Or like if he brings it up, I'll talk about it. But
I know I just said that I know like about like the sex. I would be nervous about that. Like again, I'm still young, but I don't mind talking about it. I just feel like a little nervous.
Okay. Well, I would like to try and do an unplugged with everybody. We'll probably we'll space them out, right? Like maybe once a month. Like we'll do a different unplugged, but I think they're interesting. They're fun. And everybody's will be different, right? Because you can like when you listen to everybody, you can kind of like you can almost hear like you hear the answer, but then you hear the underneath answer where you're like, that's the question. Like you're like, that's what I want to talk about. So everybody kind of seems to have a little bit something else going on that you guys want to talk about, but you guys don't want to admit you want to talk about. And I'll find it. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Are you nervous at all? If we did a random unplugged, would you be nervous that your parents listen to it? Are you nervous now that your parents listen to your episodes?
Mm-mm. No, not really.
No. Okay, so next month you're going to talk to somebody else. I would also like to record with parents and family so that way you can put those out in December. So we're going to give you guys a break in December, but I'm going to talk to family or parents. Do you think your parents would come and talk to me about the podcast and you guys as an individuals?
Yeah.
Who would you like to have me talk to, mom or dad?
My dad. Maybe I don't necessarily care. They're both. I don't. The one that probably would be more open, my mom, but I would want you to talk to my dad. He's cool.
Do you think? Oh, okay. A little bit surprised because for whatever reason, I would have thought mom was like the easy answer. Like the quick yes was going to be mom, right? But you and another person on this podcast were like dad. Do you think dad has any idea that you guys want him?
I mean,
do you think he would be weird and awkward? Like, I don't, not weird and awkward. Do you think he'd be comfortable talking about it? Like talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're technically in a very unique position where technically I could probably talk to one of each, like mom and dad, but it would be interesting. Is there anything? I'm trying to think. Have you talked to your mom or your dad about the podcast or anything that we've talked about for 3 months or that you've listened to from somebody else's?
No, I haven't talked to them about it.
So their episode would literally be your first hearing of their impressions of you and this podcast.
Wait, can you repeat that?
That doesn't freak you out? Because like whatever that episode happens, you're going to be like, you have no idea what any of their answers are going to be.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm not really necessarily concerned.
Okay.
I'm scared. I don't know why.
Good for you. Okay. I look forward to it. I'll reach out. Okay. You have to ask one of them to email or text me that, yes, they would be willing to come on. Only because I want to see which one you ask and which one actually texts me.
Okay.
I think it'd be kind of a fun idea to see what the parents think about it. I think, because we do get some feedback with a lot of you guys. People are enjoying it. We're slowly trying to, I'm trying to do some more promotion type stuff and trying to get it out there more. But it's a fun podcast, and I would be curious to see what other people think about it, especially on the parent side. What else did I have? All right. So last month, I asked you, Pinky asked you a bunch of questions, right? Some real easy ones, and then some other maybe harder ones towards the bottom, right? So we recorded you and Dean first. When I recorded with Pinky, she asked me a question. So technically, you did not have an opportunity to ask me a question when I grilled you guys last month with all your questions. Is there a question right now that you would like to ask me to answer? It doesn't have to be the same ones from last week or last month. It could be one that you make up, but whatever you want, I'll answer.
I can think of a couple. I have some in my mind.
All right, go ahead. I guarantee one. But let's hear the questions, and then we'll weigh them out and see which one is the better of the questions.
Okay. Is there like what's it called? Let's say an incident in your life that made a really big impact on you.
Okay. Do you want it like 41 years or more just towards like the high school?
Whole life.
Okay. What's the other question?
Forgot it. Just focused on that one.
Okay. So is there a moment in life, what was the second half of it, that changed?
That like made a big impact on you as a person?
All right, big impacts. I don't know. Like, I'm looking for like a nice, like, fun, good answer. I can't think of so the impact. I'm trying to. So, like, I've experienced like a bunch of things, and there are certain, like, there's moments that I've learned from, but nothing like that impacted like they were like teaching. Okay, so I've had handfuls of teachable moments, but nothing that the moment was like you have to change. Ooh, there was one. Okay, probably there was. I have a weird confidence, right? And then depending on who I'm hanging out with, it gets even like bigger confidence. There was a time when I was working at a bowling alley and I just thought I was the shit. Like, I was 2021 and like, I'm like obviously the coolest guy in the world. And I was like, it wasn't even confident. I was just cocky. And there's two part of it. So there's one part where I went to a different bowling alley and I just started talking like just the maddest shit about the way they did stuff. I'm like, I work over there. My bowling alley runs smooth. I'm like, whatever you guys are doing here, garbage. If you guys, and basically, like, if you need help, let me know. I'll come over and I'll teach you guys how to run this bowling alley properly. And just like this, like, and it's weird because I don't know where that cockiness came from. It was, okay, I lied. It was because of the guy I was hanging out with. Like, he was like uber like cocky. And I'm like, well, I gotta be cool like him and whatever. But like, so I go to this other bowling alley and I talk to a bunch of like total shit about the way they do things. I later find out that the manager at that other location used to be the old vice president of the whole company. And then by the time I get to the other side of town where my bowling alley is, my boss is like, what did you just do? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, did you try going over there? I said, yeah, that place sucks. And then all of a sudden he's like, you can't talk to people like that. And I'm like what? And
what?
And then I got fired. I got fired for talking shit at a different bowling alley. So the impact that had was, it was a very humbling experience, right? Where it was, because like I left, I told my boss, I'm like, I get it, whatever. But I got like, I doubled down on the cockiness and it was like, this place will burn down without me. You need me. And then I kept bowling there, right? Because I was bowling like 3 days a week. So I was bowling, waiting for the place to fail, and it never failed. So like, it humbled me in a way of being like, I'm not God's gift to the bowling alley. And it was just like, everything continued to run smoothly. Nothing fell apart. People forgot that I even worked there at some point. And it was just like, so from then on, it was like everybody's replaceable. Like, I'm not that good. Like I'm good at my job. Like there's no denying that I was good at the job, but like I'm not so good that I can do whatever I want. So that kind of like, so from then on, like I definitely started like acknowledging what everybody does a little bit more and try to give people, corrective feedback and a little bit more supportive. Like before it was Ben is a one-man team. After we're all part of the same team and that we all make each other really like do better. But then when I came back to the bowling alley, right, I like to have fun. I goof off. Definitely like not crazy anymore, but there was a couple that came in, right? And I like to like joke and have fun with people when they came in. And I made a comment to this couple, younger couple. They had to have been in their like 20s, like almost peers. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something that offended them. Like, because I used to give like the same joke to everybody, like the same stupid joke I'd give to everybody, thinking I was cute and funny about it. But I said something and I offended them so much that in the span of like a minute and a half, they paid for their shoes and then asked for a refund and left. So I was like, so I thought about, so the first instinct is like, they know how to take a joke. But it's kind of like reflecting on it a minute of being like, it probably wasn't a good joke / I can't use the same joke on everybody. So I learned to kind of like tailor, like I can read a room, people, and I started to lean more into those aspects instead of just being the cute, funny guy. And then, so I started to learn to tailor, like I could like basically like read the room, Ben. Like that joke is not funny for them, but it could be funny for somebody else. So, so within like the span of a year, I got fired and rehired, and I learned to shut up and don't make joke. Not everything needs to be a joke. And I think since then, I honestly think since then, like my whole personality changed to like something that I'm happy with the way I interact with people. And I think it was those two moments that really shaped, because like there's people you'll hang out with and interact with that are total douchebags and they think they're cute and funny about it. Like, and I don't want to be those guys. So I learned like calm down a little bit, basically. But I would say those have the two biggest impacts of who I am currently today, because I think I work two jobs, and I think for the most part, I do a fairly good job interacting with my peers. I technically have a team under me, so like because of those moments, I don't coach and train people the same way, and I kind of focus a little bit more on their needs versus what I think they need. If all that makes sense. Whew. That was a little bit long-winded. Did you think of your other one? Your other question?
Yeah, but can I like say something about the
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remember my other question. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I just got secondhand embarrassment just imagining that scenario. The couple one, the look on their faces would be like, oh my goodness.
And it's someone's I don't know if I ever said it on any of the other podcasts. I'm sure I did at least one time. There was a pro bowler that was like, I felt like I needed to show off. And that's where both of those situations came from. It's like, I always felt like I had to show off. It's weird because I don't care what other people thought of me. But when I was bowling, I needed people to know that I was good. And this guy ended up, seeing me fucking begging for attention. And he comes off to the side and he's like, hey, you know, you don't have to tell people that you're good. You know, I took that to be like, I don't have, like, I am good at what I do and I don't have to tell people that I'm good. I'm funny, but I don't have to like force my funny down everybody's throats. And it's crazy to be able to take those two moments and like just self-reflect that technically I was wrong on both cases, where it was easier to play the victim and being like, it's not fair that they fired me. They absolutely should have. Those people absolutely should have walked away. Like they should have asked for somebody to talk to somebody else. But yeah, it's weird to be able to self-reflect like that. Yeah, they were horrified. It wasn't even that bad of a joke, but it wasn't like wildly offensive, but they took it wildly offensive a bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I thought they were joking too. So I make whatever comment, and they're like, "Did you just say that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Haha. And like a little dance, and they're like, "We're ready to go." And I'm like, "Yeah, your line's over there." They're like, "No, we're leaving." And I was like, "Oh no," because I don't come. The idea is not to be offensive, but it's to be funny, and it's not funny if you're offending somebody. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was embarrassing.
That was an interesting story.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think there's one more, but we have to go way deep dive on that one on a different Unplugged because that one was a mess.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is like there's a couple of them. I'll write them down because I'm sure that somebody else will ask it again. That's a good question. I think it's interesting to kind of see where people are when that moment happens. Like, is it because someone died or you caused somebody? Oh, I take it back. Maybe. Okay, it's not part of your question. Okay, the biggest impact. Okay, here's the biggest impact. I think about it all the time, and it has no resolution. Okay, but I'm going to tag it in on yours. Okay. When I was in 4th grade.
Oh, that's probably a long time ago.
We were running around being kids. Okay. Little Matt runs by, and I trip him, and he falls basically on his head, and he fractures his collarbone. Okay. Now, like, I know it's not my fault because I'm in 4th grade, right? Like, that's what you guys do, right? We run around and you fall and you break something. Like, it wasn't on purpose and it wasn't malicious. It was just a dumb accident, right? But what haunts me is that kid never came back to school, and he was homeschooled for the rest of as long as I know. I don't know what I learned from it other than don't trip people. But yes, like probably like way more than it should. Because I don't know, like his school career was just starting, and I worry, like, did I ruin his life? Because I don't know. And I know he used to live right down the street. And I know I said sorry. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, should I have in hindsight, I would like to go, like, if I could redo it, obviously, I would be like, I'm gonna go and check on him and be a friend while he's healing. Like, that's like, I would do that now because I have all this life experience to be like, that's what you should do. And then, like, I kick myself that I wasn't a better 4th grader, like, somehow. Like, it had a huge impact on me, but I have no resolution for any of it other than, like, I'm a monster that, like, in some way changed this kid's life forever, and I have no idea if it was good or bad. Oh, I've been holding on to that one for a while. Thank you. Sorry.
I don't know. I started wheezing. I don't know why.
Oh,
when it comes to, I don't know why, but like violence. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's not like I had a friend who were doing some shenanigans when they got their license and they drove the car off the road and she broke her leg. Like, I don't have any dumb moments like that impacted somebody else's life or my life in that way, except for that one in which I was in 4th grade. And I don't know how much to like hate myself for it, because there's a certain level of like, you're just being a 4th grader. And as a 4th grader, I don't think I should have been thinking 40 years later, like, you're going to regret not handling the situation better. I don't know. So how weird would it be if I reached out to him?
That's definitely something. I'm still trying to process that information. That's probably why I was wheezing. I like to think of like the scenario in my head, like imagine it.
Right.
It's like, I don't know why. I want to say something so bad. Like, not like I know maybe it's offensive, but like something so evil and dark humor.
You kind of, I enjoyed some, like, because like, I don't, it's weird. I don't know. I do think about it a lot. Like once a month, probably, definitely since doing the podcast, because I'm always kind of thinking of stories. So I think about it a little bit more often than normal, but yeah, it's weird because doing the podcast, part of it is reconnecting with people, right? So I'm going to try and reach out to a couple of cousins that I haven't talked to in a while, reconnect with them, learn a little bit, like, and just like experience like more people. But he's the one person that I think it's funny. If there was one person I would not want to have on the podcast, it would be him, but he would also be the one I want the most on the podcast. Because like, what if he absolutely hates me? Like, does he hold a grudge? Because he should, but at the same time, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a weird one. It's a conundrum. Do you have 13 years, do you have a moment that has impacted you the most?
I have a really bad memory, but I can try to think. Oh my. I'm gonna be honest. Like, maybe not now. I don't know what changed.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of had the same personality for no reason. Like, I don't know.
So you're always kind of like, so who you are right now, you think you were the same?
Definitely not the same, but very similar, because I can be mean now and very violent, but when I was like really younger than I am now, because like I'm a tween, but I was like really, really kind and helpful. And like I was somewhat smart, but I did have a sense of dark humor. But like now I still want to help. I'm still kind sometimes, probably not to my brother. I still have a little bit of dark humor, but like I haven't really changed that too much. I definitely see a difference. Even my like family does, which I see a lot.
Where do you get your dark humor from?
My mom, my dad.
Or they have that kind of that word sarcastic dark humor type thing? I like it. I approve of it. But if you learn anything from this episode, is you can't do it to everybody, and you can't say all those, like, just be careful where you're at and who you say things to. Because I wish I would have told 20-year-old Ben, like, shut up and just calm down. Because, like, yeah, I used to be really cocky. Like, really cocky. Like, I'm like, one could argue that I'm really cocky now, but I was like next level. Like back in the day, I wouldn't have liked me, but I was, yeah. I don't know where that came from either. I've never been like an overly confident, cocky person, but something happened. And I was like, this is it, guys. I'm the shit. Well, thank you for your question. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
It's okay. You're good. Welcome. Sorry, I just thought of that random question. Both of those answers were very interesting. My mind's still processing. Oh, I don't know what to say anymore.
All right. Well, next month, you're going to talk to somebody else. And then I'm going to talk to one or both of your parents for December. We'll hang out again. Oh, man. So I will intro next month. And then after that, man, it's going to be 2 months before you see me. It'll be interesting.
So I have a question for December. Is there anything going to be special about December besides the parent thing?
Probably not. Why? Do you have any ideas?
No. Do you know
Sure.
what time it's going to be? Because I just want to know.
One more time.
Do you know is it going to be closer to the end of the December, before Christmas?
So I would think I'll record all of the parents and family in November, and I'll put them out. Definitely what's my calendar look like? I think I could put them out on the same Fridays because I don't think. Where's Christmas? I'll put them out the 6th, 13th, and the 20th. So all of them before Christmas. Why do you want yours to go after Christmas?
No.
Okay.
I was just asking.
So that's a sus question.
No, I'm not joking. I was just because if it's on Christmas, that's
No, they'll all be released by Christmas. I figure I would do at least 3 parents and families, so that way there's only one episode that week, and then we'll stick with the 3-week schedule. Give everybody the 27th off, and then technically you guys won't record anything in December because they'll all be recorded by November.
Okay.
All right, very cool. Well, thank you for hanging out. It was fun. Do you wish Pinky was here?
You're perfectly fine. I don't care. I just talk. So. I mean.
You're perfectly fine.
We probably go on a rant about anime or cats or something like that. I don't.
Hey man, it happens. Hey man, as long as we're having a good time, that's all that matters. Is there any anime that you? Okay, so Alice has me watching Heartstoppers. Have you watched Heartstoppers on Netflix?
I've never heard of that.
You should watch it. It's adorable. It's teeny. It's definitely about teens. Watch the first season. It's there are only 8 episodes and they're 45 minutes long. Alice suggested it. I watched it and I fucking love this thing. It's based off of a webtoon, so that's kind of it kind of ties into your anime, except for it's more like anime romance than whatever. Is there anything that you're currently watching that you think I would enjoy?
Mm-mm.
Okay. If you think of anything.
I have a very weird genre of anime because I don't know. It depends on the characters.
Okay.
Very big, and I don't know why. Lots of the animes I watch have the same. What's it called? Voice actors.
Okay.
I'm being haunted by a voice actor. Every single anime I watch, I'm pretty sure he's in it. I don't know why. It's just.
Do you do any anime that isn't fighty or fantasy? Do you do any Fruit Basket or anything teeny?
Teeny, yes.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple of times. It's a short anime called Toilet Ben Hanako-kun. It's very teeny. It's also very it's funny and I don't know if it's fantasy, maybe a little bit.
Right.
But It's really funny. It's definitely for teens.
I'm watching all that stuff, man. I like it. Yeah, anime's weird. We'll definitely deep dive into the different, because like there's always the one genre, and then there's a subgenre, and then like a sub-genre of that. And it's it's interesting. I'll also have to send you a list of my favorite animes and mangas, because there's one that I absolutely love, and I need to have like someone who's either read it and or, because it's one of those genres that you'd be self-conscious about telling people about, where like and you'd get very self-conscious talking about it normally. But you should look up Loveless, and like I think it's fantastic, but it's definitely a different genre. But all right, well, you have a good rest of the evening. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for letting me get that thing off my chest about Matt. Man.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Don't mind me.
No worries. Well, you have a good rest of the night, and then I don't know what next month looks like. So start thinking of questions that you guys want to start asking each other, because I'm gonna just.
Are we like both gonna ask each other questions?
I don't know. Yes, I think I'm gonna intro you. I'm gonna say who you guys are. I'll introduce, and then I'll just walk away. And then just like let you guys do, like, I don't know. I guess I could I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I need to moderate and let you guys. I might just drop you guys in together and just let you guys talk. Like, who knows? But it'll be fun. They might be like the shortest, most awkward episodes, but we'll grow from it. Like we'll be.
For me, it's like I'm the youngest in the podcast, and like everyone else is like a lot, maybe like the time, like they're, I don't know, kind of a lot older than me, somewhat a lot older than me. That's gonna be awkward.
No, but what's fun is you're like in the best and most unique situation, because you're years away from where everybody, like you have at least you have 3 examples of what 3 years from now looks like, 4 years from now looks like, and then you got one that is like a year and a half ahead of you. So like you're in this really weird like position to be like, ask away, talk about whatever you want, because you're like, you haven't experienced any of those things yet, and you can kind of get a gauge of where everybody else is at. So that way you're like, all right, this is normal. Like all the stuff that you're scared of, you're like, they've all probably done it, seen it of some variation, to be like, all right, so it is normal and less scary now. So, but yeah, you're going to talk to somebody older. It won't be Pinky, because it's not fair anymore.
That's all fair.
All right, well, you have a good rest of the night. Thank you for hanging out.
You too.
Whimsy